Hello, and welcome to our webinar, the 2016 Presidential Election, Looking Back and Forward. My name's Desiree Lipman, and I'm the Program and Marketing Assistant here at Times Journeys. During this webinar, you'll learn more about our journey to Washington, D.C., where you'll gain exclusive insight and perspective into the world of politics and learn about the dynamics the new president faces. We'll also hear a recording from Carl Hulse, the Times chief Washington correspondent, where he'll talk about why this trip is such a unique and exciting opportunity. Before we begin, why travel with the New York Times? First of all, on each of our departures, you'll be accompanied by a New York Times journalist or subject matter specialist. We offer over 55 itineraries, including land-based tours limited to 26 guests and specialty cruises on world-renowned cruise lines. We visit diverse destinations that tell a story and explore topics such as history, culture, and politics. Each of our trips offers exclusive access, so you can escape the crowds and enjoy access normally closed to the public. Just to give you a quick overview of the tour, this is a 5-day, 4-night itinerary, and you'll be staying in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol Hilton for the duration of the tour. Included in the costs of this trip are your tour managers, local guides, transfers, and most of your meals. This itinerary includes some really incredible events that take you behind the scenes in Washington. During your tour, you'll visit the headquarters of the news site Politico, where you'll meet with an editor to learn about the role of the media in the election. Take a private after-hours tour of the CNN Politics Campaign 2016 exhibit. You'll also tour the diplomatic rooms at the State Department. Afterwards, attend a briefing to discuss how the election is affecting international affairs. During this tour, you'll enjoy highlights such as a welcome reception at the Army-Navy Club hosted by the Times Washington Bureau. Take a private tour of the Capitol and enjoy panel discussions where you'll meet with experts in the field of politics. Discuss the results of the election and its effects on the branches of government with reporters, analysts, pollsters, and journalists. Carl Hulse is the chief Washington correspondent for the Times and the managing editor of First Draft, which is a political news stream and morning email newsletter. He will join our tour to Washington, and we'll now hear a recording Carl sent to us where he'll give you his perspective on why this is such a fascinating tour and share a glimpse into what you'll be learning.
Washington is always a fascinating place after a presidential election, but it promises to be doubly so this year. No matter who wins, a major change is in store for the nation's capital as 8 years of the Obama administration come to an end. Will we see the nation's first woman president or the elevation of a reality TV star to the highest office in the land? The transition means many new players in the Washington power structure and the final days of some of those who have been calling the shots for years. Shakeups could be in store for the Senate and House as well. There are endless questions to explore. What were the key factors in the election outcome? How did the media perform? Who are the new power brokers to watch? What changes in public policy and political posturing can we expect from the new administration and Congress? What will history say about President Obama? The end of the election season is just the beginning of when it gets interesting in Washington.
A big thanks to Carl for sharing that with us. This is sure to be a really incredible trip to be on. So now I'll just cover some frequently asked questions. First of all, a question we're asked quite often is whether or not airfare is included. And the cost of your trip does not include air, and that's because we found that most of our guests prefer to use air miles to purchase their flights, and this allows them that flexibility. Secondly, what are the physical requirements of this tour? We recommend that you are able to walk comfortably for 3 hours unaided. What documentation will you need to travel? So you'll need to have a valid passport if you're traveling international and a valid ID if you're traveling inside of the US. Lastly, what should you pack? Before your departure, the tour operator will be in touch with you with a detailed packing list that will ensure you have all the necessary items for your trip. So just to recap, this trip has one departure on December 5th, 2016. It is limited to 25 guests and is a 5-day trip starting at $4,995 with a single supplement of $1,000. If you have any additional questions or would like to make a reservation, please call our call center at 855-698-7979. You can also visit our website to find out more about this itinerary. We have sold almost half the spots on this tour, so if you are interested in booking your spot, I would recommend calling as soon as possible to make sure you reserve your space. Thank you for listening.